Hey guys, Matt here. So I wanted to talk about something today. You see, last week I was doing a YouTube live show and somebody asked the question, is a firearm, is a gun, a weapon? Now for me personally, I thought this was a pretty easy question to answer, and I thought the answer was pretty obvious, but after talking to some people, not everybody thought the same way as I did. So I thought this was an important thing to talk about because of the fact that the anti-gun side of things, this anti-gun argument that we're getting a lot of lately when it comes to gun control and the Second Amendment, they use this argument a lot. Well, a gun is a weapon, therefore it's inherently evil. It was originally designed to kill, it will always be able to kill, and therefore it's a weapon, and weapons are evil, and people shouldn't have them. And this is where they're going with this argument. They're saying this is why we shouldn't have guns, because they are weapons. It doesn't matter what we use them for. It doesn't matter if we use them to hunt. It doesn't matter if we use them for sport. They're inherently evil, therefore we should not have them. So I think this is an important conversation we need to have, because we need to get past this point when we're talking to somebody. We need to get past this whether or not it's a weapon argument so that we can move on to the more important things when we talk about gun control and the Second Amendment. The more important arguments and discussions that need to be had. So we got to get through this wall first. So point blank, is a firearm, is a gun a weapon? Yes! Yes it is! It was originally designed to be a weapon, and it can always be used as a weapon. It doesn't even matter. There are firearms out there that were designed to be competition guns, but originally those designs were not competition guns. They were simply modified from other designs that were intended to be weapons. And in the end, even if you have a closet full of nothing but competition and sporting handguns and rifles and shotguns, any one of those can be picked up and used very effectively as a weapon because it is inherently designed to be that. This is an argument we're never going to win with the anti-gun side of things because we simply cannot prove that a firearm isn't a weapon. So why do we continue to try? All we do is end up in this little stalemate where the anti-gun side of things is just going to look at us and call us crazy because we're trying to say that a firearm, something that was designed to kill, something that is inherently a weapon, we're trying to say it isn't. It makes us look bad. We need to admit that it's a weapon, and we need to move on to the more important arguments. One of those important arguments is whether or not a firearm, which is a weapon, is also a tool. Now, a tool is something we control. We choose what we use it for. And like any tool, even a weapon, it can be used for good or bad. It can benefit or it can cause harm. We need to remember this. In the end, a firearm, a weapon, any weapon, whether it's a knife, a gun, anything, can be used as a tool. It can be used for good or bad, and that's where we need to steer this argument. We need to make people aware that most of the firearms, most of the weapons in this country are used for good, either for sports or for hunting or used for self-defense. Only a very small portion of them are actually used to do harm unjustly to others. This is where we need to steer the argument. We need to stop having the discussion of whether or not a firearm is a weapon because it is. Stop arguing this point. All we're going to do is make ourselves look like fools. Let's concentrate our argument where it needs to be, on the fact that the firearm is a tool that we, the responsible gun owners of this country, primarily use for good. We're not evil people, and guns, because they're an inanimate object, because they're a tool, even though they are a weapon, they are not evil either. It's not the tool, it's not the weapon, it's not the gun, it's the person using it. And this is where our argument needs to go.